Hello good people, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be critiquing your beats again. We're back with another beat critique video, and today I'm kind of not disappointed, but I thought there'd be more submissions than there were. I got, how many did I get? 5, 6, 7, 8 submissions, so it's not too bad, but normally I get between 10 or 20, but we only got 8 this time, and to be honest, I thought about this is kind of a good thing, because instead I can actually give you guys some detailed critiques instead of having to kind of rush through everything just so that the video isn't like 50 minutes long. So that's what I'm going to do this time. I'm going to listen to every beat, listen to a good portion of the beat, give you some real sort of detailed critiques, and where the things that are good about it, the things that don't work so much, sort of areas for improvement. And yeah, we're just going to go from there with it. But before we do dive into it, if you guys want to learn how to sell beats online, I have mentioned this in previous videos, but I'm actually giving this guide away for free for the next couple of weeks. And I've also updated it and corrected some of the grammar mistakes. I think there's a couple in there. And I've sort of added a few extra phrases and sort of examples of things that I do when I go about selling beats. So if you guys want to learn how to sell beats, go ahead and check that out. It's really useful book. All you gotta do is put your email address in, and then I'll send the book straight to your email as soon as you put your email in on the page. Okay, so go ahead and jump on that. And also, if you guys want to learn how to turn your beats into a full living, I'm talking about full-time living, then click the second link I pinned to this video. The second link, I put together an online course called the Internet Producer Masterclass, and that kind of shows you exactly how I'd go about setting up a living and setting up a career for my beat making business. But anyway, let's dive into the beat critique, and we are going to kick things off with Adrian Dimitrov. That was pretty nice. I actually quite liked that sort of different kind of take to it. This guy says he normally makes, trap beats, so it's really good to, test the water on some different things. And to be fair, you've done really well with this one, considering that you never really make Afro beats. So I'm super impressed with that one. The kick was real punchy. You heard it sort of cut through the mix quite nicely. There's a lot of dynamics there. You can tell he hasn't really over compressed that. Maybe a bit of clipping, which is absolutely fine. I'd probably recommend clipping than over compressing and squashing things, especially for an Afro kind of beat where you want it to really have a nice bouncy kind of vibe to it. I'm really happy with that. The mix was clean. The only thing that I'd say for this beat was that the bass was just for me, it was just a touch too loud, so I'd maybe turn that down and add like a little phaser in there. It was very sort of straight down the middle, and it didn't really have any movement to it, but other than that, the sound selection was pretty good. It's got that kind of African bounce to it. So yeah, I'm really happy with that one, man. That was a sick beat. Out of 10, now I'm not going to do a rating out of 10. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick my favourite beats from this list, and I'm going to send you guys some free stuff. Don't know what free stuff yet, but I'm going to send you guys some free stuff, maybe a free kit or a free or discount to the masterclass or something like that. But anyway, let's move on to the next one. That was a really good beat, Adrian. Sick beat. Next up, we've got X Drops, and we've got a Drake/Quavo type beat.
It's X Drops, motherfucker.
That was fucking hard. That was a hard beat, X Drops. Massive improvement from the last time that you submitted a beat to me. That was really clean. The drums was super clean in that. I remember last time listening to this guy's beats, and I think I said that the mix wasn't that great on them, but there's been a lot of, I can see you put a lot of work into the mixes, because the drums on that really sort of grabbed my attention like straight away. Kick was punchy, that snare hit really hard, and it was really like crisp and sort of had a real clean vibe to it. Maybe turn the hi-hats maybe turn the hi-hats up just a little bit, but again, that's just personal preference, and to be honest, if that's your sound, then roll with it. Like, don't, just keep up with that kind of thing. Yeah, solid beat. I think I don't know if you cut some of the low end out of the 808. It just sounded a little bit muddy. It just sounded like there wasn't much sort of boom to the 808. If I was to give any criticism to it, I think the melody was just a little bit here and there, and it was just sort of up and down for me. So just a tiny bit of work on the melodies, but it still gave off the right vibe. The drums were there, so that would definitely sell. That'd be a beat worth selling. Let's move on to the next person, who is Mapzone Music.
One of the rubbish.
Sorry, I'm not yawning because of that beat. That was a really nice beat. I'm just tired. But yeah, that was a nice beat. It took a little while to get going, but when it did get going, it was a nice beat. I'd just say just maybe again just bring everything in a little bit earlier. It wasn't too bad. Like, it wasn't like the structure was off because of it. It sort of it led on to the drums quite nicely. But yeah, no, it was a really nice beat. Nice simple melody, real nice dark vibe to it. I like how you sort of dropped down the melody by like 3 notes to sort of give that kind of sort of even more of a darker vibe to it, and added a nice bit of variation to it, to be fair. Drums had a nice bounce to them. I'd just say maybe the mix was kind of muddy. Maybe, I don't know, there's just a couple of things missing, but it did sound bright. All the elements were there, but I think you can take it to another level, man. So that was a solid beat. Just keep putting in the reps and you'll have some hard beats on your hand, bro. So yeah, decent beat Mapzone. Let's check out the next person on this list, who is Chris Carter. Let's check you out. That was okay. The only thing for me is that I think he did a little bit too much with it. You can sometimes go overboard with beats. Like, everything sounded clean. That clap really cut through the mix real nice. Hi-hats were nice and simple. Just gave it a real steady bounce to it. The kick was a little bit thin for me. It didn't really hit when it came in. It just sort of was. It just arrived, and there wasn't really much presence to it. But the thing that I'm getting at with this is that you've kind of. This is one of those situations where it sounds like you put a lot of work into the melody, but because you've kind of like put a lot of work and a lot of time into it, you've kind of over-listened to it and you put in too many changes, and it just kind of doesn't, sort of drifts all over the place, if that makes sense. Like, the bass line was kind of, it wasn't easy to follow. You just keep it simple. Make a real nice, easy to follow, catchy, bouncy bass line, and then add the melody on top of that to complement it. But the only thing with that, the only reason why I'm saying this is because when an artist wants to work with a beat, they tend to want to work with a beat that's got plenty of space for them to actually, to rap on and put their own melodies into it and add their ad-libs to it and stuff like that. So adding, you know, tons and tons of different elements to the melody kind of sort of plugs all those spaces so they haven't really got any space to do anything. So yeah, just dial down the melody side of things. You literally 3 or 4 notes for a bass line. That's all you really need. You don't really need many different notes. But with that one, I could tell it was sort of going up and down, and you know, the rhythm was changed up quite a lot. So just keep things simple, keep things nice and easy to remember, and yeah, you know, you'll stand a much better chance of getting your beats sort of flying out of your beat store. Okay. But other than that, it was a really nice beat. It was a really nice, clean mix. Again, the melody was completely in key. I've got no issues with that. So yeah, it was a decent beat. Just dial it down a little bit, okay? So, awesome beat. Chris, let's move on to the next person, who is called Solely Beats.
Solely Beats.
You get bonus points just for that tag. I like that tag. Bro, that was pretty wavy. Kind of like a mixture of Playboy Carti and Lil Uzi Vert or something like that. Those hi-hats went crazy, man. Nice bounce to them. Mix was clean. The kick could have been a little bit louder and a bit more punchier. But the whole vibe sat well together. The whole beat kind of meshed well together. I really like that sort of spacey, retro, ambient kind of vibe to the melody. I really like that flute melody. Again, nice and simple. Nothing too crazy, just a real sort of nice, wavy kind of melodic kind of vibe to that flute. Nice sort of background paddy chord progression sitting in the background, and it just kind of worked well together. I liked that beat a lot. If I could point out anything wrong with this beat, or not anything wrong, but anything that could be improved, is maybe just work a little bit on separating the hooks from the chorus, if that makes sense. So the melody didn't really change that much. You know, those chord progressions, they didn't really change that much. And what I mean by that is, like, if you stack like a sound on it or a couple of sounds on each other, then take away everything and kind of leave one of those chord progressions sort of just playing throughout the whole beat, and then that way it kind of adds a nice little differential between the verse and the hook and the chorus and the bridge, and it's just a good way to sort of dial the vibe down and then dial it back up when you want to come back to the hook, dial it back down for the verse. And you know, it's just a good way of letting the beat breathe a little bit. But other than that, it was a really nice beat. Just work on you know letting it sort of go up and down a little bit more. It was kind of very constant with the melody and the flute. Okay, but yeah, real wavy beat, man. I like that beat a lot. All you guys have got some hard beats. I'm gonna have to give you all some free stuff by the end of this video. I'm gonna go with Thek Mind. Okay, we've got Thek Mind. I can't even do this, but I'm gonna listen to your beat. Okay, let's listen to it and see how it sounds.
You got this.
There you go. That is exactly what I'm talking about. That is spot on. Like, that is so spot on. Real simple, bouncy, you know, happy, wavy kind of melody. Drums were going crazy during the hook, and then you notice the melody kind of dropped down by a few keys, or I think it's down by an octave when the verse came in. Perfect. I love hearing that, like, real sort of upbeat drop, so it kind of grabs your attention, and then it settles down into the verse. I really love that transition. So that was a real nice beat. Mix was super clean. That 808 was hitting hard. Maybe a tiny bit muddy. If anything, maybe add a little bit of top end distortion, analog distortion, not digital. And that was super hard. I love that beat. So yeah, let's move on to the last person and a regular beat critiquer, Nemo Beats. So we're gonna check you out, my friend, and see how your beats are coming along. Really annoyed because those drums are probably the best drums out of all of these that I've heard. They had a completely different vibe to them. They were super clean, super hard. The kick, like the whole thing just got my attention straight away. I love that kind of, realistic kind of sound to it. It wasn't the standard trap sound that we tend to hear. So that was insane. The only reason why I'm disappointed is because that sort of vocal synth that you had at the beginning, like the top two keys were just out of the scale, and it just that last bit, it just kind of killed the vibe. Last key was in if that last key of the melody was in the scale, it was in the right scale, it would have been perfect. And even when you sort of changed that vibe up, when you had the whole beat kind of stop and then that whole new sort of different bounce came with it, it was so nice. It was just that beginning bit, so get those scales right and that beat would have been an absolute banger. So if you've still got the FLP, open it up and just play around with those top two keys and make sure they sit in the right scale. Once you get that right, man, that beat is absolutely fire. I'd put some money behind advertising that one. Super fire. So yeah, I'm all of those were hard, like stupidly hard. I'm like struggling to exclude anyone from anything that I'm going to give away for this beat critique video. Screw it. I'm gonna give you guys away. I'm gonna give you guys some free stuff, and I'm gonna give you a discount voucher on my online course. So I'm gonna drop you all an email once I get done with this video. I'll get it edited, and you guys all deserve some huge credit for those beats because they are super hard. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's beat critique. If you do want to be part of the beat critique videos in the future, all you need to do is look out for the entry videos. I normally drop them once a month. I'm trying to do them more often, but realistically they tend to come once a month. And I'll post on a video, send me your beats to this email, the blah blah blah, put beat critique as the subject, basically like what you can see on here. Just one thing to point out, if you do want to be part of the beat critique videos, please, it'd be really helpful if you guys could send me beats that you haven't yet uploaded to your beat store. Plainly and simply because every time I do one of these videos, I get a copyright strike by either Airbit or BeatStars or any service that allows you to sell beats. I get a copyright strike from them because you can put the YouTube ID, content ID thing on your beats, so that when anybody uses them in a video, then it gets reported back to BeatStars and they take that video down, or they give you a strike. So please just send me beats that you haven't yet uploaded to your beat store, and just make sure that they're not, they haven't got any kind of things attached to them that will allow me to get a strike. Just because I want to keep doing these for you guys, but I can't. I kind of struggle for the motivation when I keep getting these videos sent back to me saying that I can't have them up on the channel, or I can't have them monetized just because they're on someone's beat store. And I know you're not doing it on purpose. I know it's literally just second nature. You send your best beat and that happens to be on your beat store. But I'd really appreciate it if you could just send through beats that you haven't yet uploaded, just so I don't have to go through the issues that I've been facing with the other beat critique videos. Okay, sorry for rambling on, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well, so you don't miss out on the next entry video. and I'll be obviously dropping tutorials and all that good stuff as well. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.